Welcome to Tearsheet's Outlier Briefing. I'm your host, Zach Miller, Editor-in-Chief at Tearsheet. This subscriber-only content is exclusive for our Outlier members. We go deeper with subject matter experts to take actionable steps that can impact your business and practice. Rina Plapler has been working in brand strategy for over 20 years. That means she's worked with many of today's top financial brands with market positioning, messaging, and product portfolios. As a partner at Emblem, she was instrumental in creating her firm's research on brand intimacy, the emotional science that measures the bonds we form with the brands we use and love. She's applied this research to the financial industry in an effort to rank the companies and characteristics that make for today's strongest brands. Rina joins us to discuss what makes up brand intimacy and how emotional people feel around financial services. We look at her rankings and the attributes of today's strongest financial brands. Lastly, she provides advice to companies to make themselves into more intimate brands. To hear the full audio and to access all of our exclusive member-only material, head on over to tearsheet.co/outlier.
My name is Rina Plapler. I'm a partner running strategy at a brand consultancy called Emblem. We're just about to celebrate our 10th year, and we are a branding firm that's really centered on the idea of helping brands create emotional connections with their constituents, whether that's B2B, B2C, B2G. What brand intimacy is, in short, is really the emotional science behind the brands we use and love. And it's really trying to understand and decode who's doing it well and how we can apply that to other brands. People might think financial services and emotion, like that's a little, odd, but think about it. What's more important to people than their money? And maybe their health. Those are really two categories that are fraught with emotion. Either nervous that you're going to lose it or nervous that you don't have it. So there's a lot of apprehension, which is an emotion in the category to begin with. This is something people care dearly about. This is usually not about getting new customers. It's how you deepen the relationships with the customers that you have. And the good news is there's lots of room for improvement. So I think financial services have what we sometimes call hostages, in the sense that they've got a lot of captive customers who don't want to leave for convenience or stickiness or history. But how do you make that a relationship that's really positive and powerful, not just required? Financial services isn't in the top, but it's, not the lowest. What's interesting is that PayPal and Amex have kind of flipped the past couple of years between number one and number two. Yeah. And you can just see that PayPal's got a quotient score of 40, and number two, Amex is 32.2. But if you start to look at our 10th ranked brand, US Bank, there's quite a difference, ranking, 17.8 quotient score there. So within the category, there is quite a bit of variance. I think the average for the industry is something like 23.3, 23.4 for quotients across the financial services industry. So for financial services, things like fulfillment and enhancement are very important. Fulfillment really on the service side, efficacy, do what they say. Enhancement is more along the lines of making you smarter, better, more connected, more capable. Both of those are very big in financial services. And not to jump ahead, but what's really interesting is for years, fulfillment had been the driver or the most dominant archetype in the category, very service focused. But the past 2 years, enhancement has increased and is now number one. And in fact, it even improved significantly from last year to this year. So that tells us the role of technology is becoming ever more important in financial services, and that sort of ubiquity and ability
to hear the full audio and to access all of our exclusive member-only material, head on over to tearsheet.co/outlier.